you are seeing through a gravity distortion field. The craft may not actually be moving like that. It may just look like it because you can only see it through the field.
Bob Lazar has been a controversial figure in the world of UFOs for decades, ever since he came forward with claims of working on reverse engineering alien technology at a site near Area 51. Known for his detailed accounts of alleged extraterrestrial crafts and propulsion systems, Lazar's revelations in the late 1980s have sparked endless debates about the existence of UFOs and the extent of government secrecy. So, when breaking news surfaced of unknown UFO drones flying over New Jersey and New York, many turned to Lazar for insight. How would he interpret this footage? Could these sightings be connected to the alien technologies he described decades ago? The reports from New Jersey and New York have reignited interest in UFO phenomena worldwide. Eyewitnesses and videos depict glowing orbs and drones maneuvering in ways that seem to defy physics. They dart, hover, and change direction with a precision that conventional aircraft cannot achieve. Speculation about their origins has ranged from experimental military technology to extraterrestrial craft. And for someone like Bob Lazar, who has spent much of his life trying to shed light on hidden truths, these sightings raise critical questions. Before we delve into Lazar's reaction to these sightings, let's revisit the core of his story. In 1989, Lazar claimed he worked at a site called S4 near Area 51. According to him, the facility was a top-secret laboratory where scientists were tasked with reverse engineering alien spacecraft. Lazar detailed one specific craft that he called the Sport Model, which he said used an anti-gravity propulsion system powered by element 115, a then theoretical element that supposedly created a gravitational field around the craft. This allowed it to perform maneuvers that seemed impossible by conventional physics. One of the most striking aspects of Lazar's account is the way he described the motion of these crafts. He claimed that the technology allowed for instantaneous acceleration, abrupt changes in direction, and hovering without any visible means of propulsion. Sound familiar? These are the same characteristics being reported in the New Jersey and New York UFO sightings. This is where Lazar's insights become particularly relevant. Lazar has often stated that the technology he allegedly worked on at S4 was far beyond anything humans could have developed at the time. He argued that it wasn't just a leap in technology, it was a paradigm shift, something so advanced that it would require an entirely new understanding of physics. So, when reports of UFO drones performing similar maneuvers surface in major metropolitan areas, Lazar's claims inevitably come back into focus. When asked about the recent sightings, Lazar's reaction was both unsurprised and cautious. Over the years, he has maintained that UFOs, or more specifically, advanced crafts like the ones he described, have been present on Earth for a long time. From his perspective, the sightings over New Jersey and New York are consistent with what he's been saying for decades. Lazar suggested that the crafts observed in the recent footage could be similar to the ones he allegedly encountered at S4. However, he also raised an important question. Are these objects extraterrestrial in origin? Or could they be the result of humans successfully reverse engineering alien technology? For Lazar, this distinction is crucial. If these drones are human-made, it would indicate that the secretive work he described in the 1980s has borne fruit. But if they are not of human origin, it raises the possibility that extraterrestrial beings are actively observing us, or at least that they're allowing their crafts to be seen. This isn't new, Lazar has said in past interviews when asked about UFO sightings. It's just becoming harder to hide. One of Lazar's most intriguing observations about the New Jersey and New York footage is the way these drones seem to interact with their environment, or more accurately, the way they don't interact. In many UFO sightings, including the ones Lazar described at S4, the crafts appear to operate independently of atmospheric conditions. They exhibit no visible exhaust, no sound, and no turbulence. Lazar has always maintained that this is a hallmark of advanced propulsion systems, like the one he claims to have studied, which creates a gravitational field around the craft. The propulsion system isolates the craft from the environment, Lazar explained in a previous discussion. It's not interacting with the air, the wind, or anything around it. That's why it can move the way it does. This observation aligns with what witnesses in New Jersey and New York have described. The objects moved with an eerie silence, displaying an agility that seemed almost otherworldly. To Lazar, this is further evidence that these drones, whatever they are not operating on conventional principles of flight. Another key aspect of Lazar's reaction to the recent sightings is his focus on the implications of public awareness. Lazar has often criticized the secrecy surrounding UFOs, arguing that the knowledge of advanced technology could benefit humanity in profound ways. For instance, the anti-gravity systems he described could revolutionize transportation, energy production, and even space exploration. However, he also acknowledges that such technology, if misused, could be catastrophic. The technology is incredible, Lazar has said, but the potential for misuse is just as incredible. That's why there's so much secrecy. It's not just about hiding it from the public, it's about controlling it. This sentiment is particularly relevant in the context of the New Jersey and New York sightings. If these drones are human-made, who controls them? Are they in the hands of a government, a private corporation, or some other entity? And if they are not human-made, what does that say about the intentions of whoever or whatever is behind them? Lazar also touched on the timing of these sightings. In recent years, the U.S. government has begun to release previously classified information about UFOs, now referred to as UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. The Pentagon has acknowledged that it has no explanation for many of these encounters, and high-profile reports like the 2004 USS Nimitz incident have brought the topic into the mainstream. For Lazar, the timing is no coincidence. He believes that we are in the early stages of a slow disclosure process, where governments are gradually preparing the public for the revelation of extraterrestrial life, or at least for the existence of advanced technologies that challenge our understanding of reality. People aren't as dismissive as they used to be, Lazar noted. The stigma is starting to fade, and that's an important step. But the real question is, why now? Why are we seeing this shift in how UFOs are being discussed? Lazar speculates that the recent sightings, combined with the government's changing stance, could be part of a larger plan to acclimate humanity to the idea of contact. Whether that contact is with extraterrestrial beings or with technologies that seem alien in their capabilities, the implications are profound. As Lazar's reaction unfolds, he doesn't shy away from addressing the skeptics. He acknowledges that not every UFO sighting is evidence of extraterrestrial craft. Many can be explained by natural phenomena, human error, or even deliberate hoaxes. However, he also argues that the sheer volume of credible reports cannot be ignored. What we're seeing now isn't just lights in the sky, Lazar said. We're seeing patterns, consistencies, and data that point to something real. The question is, what is it? This focus on data is a recurring theme in Lazar's discussions. Despite the controversy surrounding his story, he has always emphasized the importance of evidence. And for him, the footage from New Jersey and New York adds another piece to a puzzle that humanity has been trying to solve for generations. One of the most thought-provoking aspects of Lazar's reaction is his exploration of what these sightings mean for humanity's future. He has often said that the discovery of advanced technologies or contact with an extraterrestrial civilization would be a turning point in human history. It would challenge our assumptions about science, religion, and our place in the universe. If we're not alone, that changes everything, Lazar said. It's not just about UFOs, it's about who we are and what we're capable of. For Lazar, the recent sightings are a reminder that the universe is far more complex and mysterious than we often realize. They are an invitation to look beyond the boundaries of what we think we know and to embrace the unknown with curiosity and humility. As the discussion comes to a close, Lazar leaves us with a message that is both cautionary and hopeful. He urges us to approach the UFO phenomenon with an open mind, but also with a critical eye. He reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is never easy, but it is always worth it. Whether these crafts are from another world or from our own, they represent something extraordinary, Lazar said, and it's up to us to figure out what that is. The recent footage of unknown UFO drones over New Jersey and New York has captivated the world, sparking questions that go to the very heart of who we are. And as Bob Lazar's reaction shows, these questions are not just about UFOs, they're about the limitless potential of human understanding. The conversation about UFOs, sparked by the sightings in New Jersey and New York, has grown into something much larger than a simple debate over lights in the sky. For Bob Lazar, these events serve as yet another reminder that the truth about UFOs is not only elusive, but deeply entwined with questions of power, secrecy, and the human spirit's innate desire to understand the unknown. Lazar's life and work have revolved around these themes, and the recent sightings provide a unique opportunity to revisit his claims with fresh eyes. To fully grasp Lazar's reaction, we must first consider the broader implications of what he has described over the years. The technologies he claims to have encountered, anti-gravity propulsion, energy generation using element 115, and crafts that seem to operate outside our understanding of physics, represent a paradigm shift that could fundamentally alter life as we know it. For Lazar, these technologies aren't just theoretical. They are, according to his account, very real, and they challenge humanity's current grasp of science. The New Jersey and New York sightings share striking similarities with Lazar's descriptions. Witnesses have reported crafts that maneuver with unparalleled precision, changing direction and accelerating in ways that defy inertia. These behaviors align with the capabilities Lazar attributed to the alien technology he worked on. But the significance of these sightings goes beyond the technical details. They raise profound questions about who or what is controlling these objects, and why they are appearing now in some of the most populated areas of the United States. Lazar's reaction to these sightings underscores his belief that we are living through a pivotal moment in history. He has long argued that the secrecy surrounding UFOs is unsustainable in the face of mounting evidence. The footage from New Jersey and New York is part of a growing body of data that is becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss. From the Tic Tac UFOs observed by Navy pilots to the declassified Pentagon reports, a clearer picture is beginning to emerge, one that points to the presence of advanced, non-human technologies. For Lazar, the question is not whether these sightings are real, but what they mean. Are they evidence of extraterrestrial visitation, as he has long suggested? Or could they be the result of human innovation, potentially derived from reverse engineering alien technology? Lazar has always maintained that the work he did at S4 was part of a broader effort to understand and replicate alien propulsion systems. If these drones are human-made, it would suggest that significant progress has been made in secret. But if they are not, it opens the door to even deeper mysteries. One of the key themes Lazar touches on in his reaction is the role of fear and control in the UFO narrative. He has often said that the secrecy surrounding these technologies is driven not only by the potential for misuse, but also by the fear of losing control. Advanced propulsion systems, for example, could render current energy markets obsolete. Anti-gravity technology could revolutionize transportation, but it could also destabilize economies and military power structures. Think about what happens if this technology becomes public, Lazar has said. It's not just about flying cars or free energy. It's about the entire structure of society changing overnight. This perspective is particularly relevant in the context of the New Jersey and New York sightings. If these drones represent a breakthrough in technology, whether human or extraterrestrial, their public appearance could be a deliberate signal, a way of forcing governments and institutions to acknowledge their existence. Lazar has speculated that such events could be part of a slow disclosure process, a way of acclimating the public to the reality of advanced technologies or even extraterrestrial life. Lazar also addresses the psychological and cultural impact of these sightings. He acknowledges that the idea of UFOs still carries a stigma, despite growing evidence and public interest. This stigma has often been used to discredit witnesses and researchers, creating a barrier to serious investigation. But Lazar believes that this is changing. The New Jersey and New York sightings, like many others in recent years, have been captured on high-quality video and corroborated by multiple witnesses. These factors make them harder to dismiss and easier for the public to engage with. The more people see these things for themselves, the harder it becomes to deny, Lazar says. At some point, the evidence speaks for itself. This shift in public perception is a significant development. For decades, the UFO phenomenon was relegated to the fringes of science and culture, dismissed as the domain of conspiracy theorists and hobbyists. But today, it is becoming a legitimate field of inquiry, attracting attention from scientists, journalists, and even governments. Lazar sees this as a positive step, but he also warns against complacency. The search for truth requires not only open-mindedness, but also rigorous investigation. One of the most compelling aspects of Lazar's reaction is his emphasis on the interconnectedness of UFO sightings around the world. He notes that the events in New Jersey and New York are not isolated incidents. Similar sightings have been reported in recent years in countries ranging from Brazil to Japan to Australia. These global patterns suggest that whatever is behind these phenomena is not confined to a single location or nation. For Lazar, this raises intriguing questions about the motives and intentions of these crafts. If they are extraterrestrial, why are they appearing in such diverse locations? Are they observing humanity as a whole? Or are they drawn to specific areas for particular reasons? And if they are human-made, who is operating them? And why are they being deployed in such a public manner? These aren't random events, Lazar argues. There's a pattern here, and understanding that pattern is key to understanding what's really going on. Lazar also delves into the role of technology in shaping how we perceive and understand UFO phenomena. In the past, UFO sightings often relied on anecdotal evidence or grainy photos, making them easy to dismiss. But today, advancements in cameras, sensors, and communication technology have transformed the landscape. High-definition footage, radar data, and other forms of evidence are now readily available, providing a more robust foundation for investigation. The New Jersey and New York sightings are a prime example of this shift. The footage is clear, the witnesses are credible, and the events have been widely reported in the media. For Lazar, this represents a turning point. The combination of technological advancements and public interest is creating a new environment in which the UFO phenomenon can be studied more seriously and systematically. Another critical aspect of Lazar's reaction is his focus on the ethical implications of the UFO phenomenon. He has often spoken about the responsibility that comes with understanding advanced technologies. While these technologies have the potential to benefit humanity, they also carry significant risks. For example, anti-gravity propulsion systems could revolutionize transportation, but they could also be weaponized. Similarly, energy systems based on element 115 could provide unlimited power, but they could also destabilize global energy markets. The technology itself isn't good or bad, Lazar says. It's how we use it that matters. And that's why transparency is so important. We can't afford to let these discoveries be controlled by a select few. This perspective is particularly relevant in the context of the New Jersey and New York sightings. If these drones represent advanced technology, whether human or extraterrestrial, the question of who controls them becomes paramount. Lazar argues that the public has a right to know about these developments and to participate in the conversation about how they should be used. As Lazar reflects on the broader implications of the sightings, he also acknowledges the limitations of what we currently know. Despite decades of research and investigation, the UFO phenomenon remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time. For every piece of evidence that brings us closer to understanding, new questions arise, pushing the boundaries of science and imagination. For Lazar, this is both a challenge and an opportunity. He believes that the search for truth is not just about finding answers, but about asking better questions. The New Jersey and New York sightings are a reminder of how much we have yet to learn, not only about UFOs but about the universe itself. The universe is far more complex and mysterious than we can imagine, Lazar says. And that's what makes this journey so exciting. Every new discovery, every new sighting is a step closer to understanding who we are and where we fit in the grand scheme of things. Lazar concludes his reaction with a message of hope and curiosity. He encourages people to approach the UFO phenomenon with an open mind and a critical eye, to embrace the mystery rather than fear it. He believes that the recent sightings in New Jersey and New York are not just anomalies but part of a larger story, one that has the potential to reshape our understanding of the world and our place in the universe. As humans, we are explorers by nature, Lazar says. We are driven by a desire to understand the unknown, to push the boundaries of what we know. The UFO phenomenon is one of the greatest mysteries of our time, and it's up to us to solve it. The sightings over New Jersey and New York have captivated the world, sparking conversations that bridge science, philosophy, and culture. And as Bob Lazar's reaction shows, these events are not just about UFOs. They are about the limitless potential of human discovery